Hey everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville and you're on the lifeboat. What's happening this morning? Good Monday morning, right? It's not just another Monday. Come on. All right. Wants to be temperamental. There we go. 32 degrees in Baton Rouge. That's just downright wrong on so many levels. 40 degrees in Maine. I can buy that. That's about, 40 degrees is about right in Maine, right? Or you don't mean 40 degrees centigrade. You mean 40 degrees Fahrenheit. 28 degrees where I live in Michigan. It's cold everywhere but Australia, says Barbie World. It's pretty chilly here this morning. However, hello, Bio Babe. By way of full disclosure, I just thought this was really cool. Hey, I'm just going to say hi on my way into work. Thought I'd wish everybody a nice day. I dig that. I really do. I dig that. It's just a great, I like the attitude, right? Everybody should be wishing everybody a good day, but everybody isn't at all, right? There's some stuff in this world, people, that just sometimes has to be discussed. And oh, first of all, we changed the time that I'm going on with Reese, relatable Reese. I am going on with her today, but I'm trying to remember what we changed the time to. I think it's 6 o'clock her time instead of 7 o'clock her time. Is what we did. Let me check that before I get too deep off into the weeds and find out that I badly screwed this up, because I have priors. True story. I've been known to screw some stuff up. But I am going on Relatable Reese tonight. If you've never checked Reese out, which is really unlikely, right? I mean, it's highly unlikely if you're on this channel, because there's a lot of crossover, I think. Reese has about 18,000 subscribers, I think, and I would be willing to bet that about 80% of this boat is in there. Let me see here. So we're doing it 2 p.m. tomorrow, her time, and that is Central. So 2 o'clock Central. Somebody help me. 2 o'clock Central. What is that on the West Coast? That's like the spirit. I like it. I like it. So, hey, Tommy Stiggs, good to see you. It's an honor. I'm going to get raw today, people. I really am, because there's some stuff going on that it really makes you scratch the heck out of your head. And this one's not going to make me popular. But you know what? If you honestly stick to just seeing how many views you can get, there's something wrong with that. I've got a 5 o'clock and I've got a 12 o'clock. It should be like, let's see, if it's 2 o'clock there, it should be 2 hours earlier here. So if we're doing it at 2 o'clock her time, it should be noon here. Yeah, noon. Well, it's going to be noon my time. It's going to be 11 o'clock on that's today, 11 o'clock on the West Coast. Everybody get that? 11 o'clock on the West Coast. Everybody get that? I'll probably post it too. I'll post it too. I'll put up a post when this is over, because I'm not good at this. And if I don't do that, some people might miss it. And I don't want that to happen. But yes, 2 hours behind. I am, they would be 2 hours behind her. So it would be noon. You're right. I'm sorry, noon Cali time. That's going to be 1 o'clock my time. I'm 1 hour off of her because we don't do the daylight savings thing, I think. Because right now, for me, it is almost 6 a.m. Do you know what? This happens to me every time I read that name. That happens to me. That's the truth. You know what? I think that there's a lot of people that like Reese. She's just got a really cool personality. I'm very much looking forward to going on her show. Thank you, Kenya. I'm very much looking forward to this. I really am. I'm fired up to do this. We've never met, and I've seen her with Aaron a bunch of times, and I've watched her show probably 3 or 4 times. I've caught that she did alone. I've seen a bunch of stuff that she does with other people. The thing is, I swear to you, I would watch everybody. Like, I would watch YouTube all day long if I could. Right? I really would. But it's just, it's a busy schedule. And it starts really early in the morning. I got a couple of emails from people that said to me, like, I shot back an email to somebody last night at like, I don't know what time it was, but it was early. And they hit back and said, what are you doing up? There's a reason that I schedule the day the way that it goes, so that when it's the AM hours, I think I should probably spend a decent amount of those awake, right? Because people who struggle really seem to struggle in the AM hours. My business is far busier in the middle of the night than it is in the daytime. Sadly, that's just the way that one goes. All right, so now I'm going to tell you what I'm all angry about, because I am legitimately angry, and I think everybody needs to be. And again, you're going to watch the viewership drop on this puppy, because this is a subject matter that makes people stop. It makes people unwatch. I mean, it really does. It makes people hit. I'm going to back out of this. But this is one of those things that if you have a platform of any size and you don't talk about, I think you might not be a good person. like really, and I've debated this one, but there's a woman that just got fired from the University of Pennsylvania, right, for some stuff that went on Congress. I've probably got a slightly different take on this. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm going to bring you up to speed if you don't. But the woman who was running the University of Pennsylvania stepped down over backlash from some things that she said when she testified in front of Congress. And they asked us some really simple questions like, is calling for the genocide of Jews, would that violate your conduct policy? Calling for the elimination of every single person on the planet, right? Calling for the elimination of every single person on the planet who happens to be Jewish. Would that be a problem for people to be yelling through bullhorns on your campus, right? And the funny thing is, these are campuses that have already not allowed public speakers, to go into their campuses because they disagree with whatever the public speakers might be bringing. So the free speech thing, miss me with that BS, because you people are famous for restricting free speech, right? These universities are famous for restricting free speech, but this free speech is cool with them. Now, on the bright side, it's cost this university $100 million already. One donor was like, you know what? No chance. I am yanking the rug out from underneath you on this one, right? But I'll tell you what, the United Nations voted that the attack that the Israelis going into Gaza, they wanted a condemnation of that. Now, you can call it whatever you want. Where I come from, if you punch me in the face, I punch you back. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm going to keep punching you until I'm very convinced you can't hit me ever again, right? Until this fight's done and I can walk the hell away without thinking you're going to jump on my back, right? Like, that's pretty much how it's done. Sorry, but that's the truth. Now, they didn't attack anybody. They got attacked, right? And what they're supposed to do is go, okay, you've got how many of our people held hostage? You've killed 1,500 of our people, raped them, peeled their skin off, right? The things that have been done to some of these, honestly, it makes the Holocaust look like it wasn't so bad. And the people that did that crap, right, spawned the United Nations. The United Nations was started because of the Holocaust, so that all of these countries could get together and say, that's never going to happen again. But only 13 nations thought that Israel had a right to defend itself. We were one of them, and I didn't think I thought for sure that the vote was going to go the way it did. But you would have been able to knock me over with a feather if you had told me only 13 countries. This is anti-Semitism. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it whatever you want. It's 1939. If you took History 101, this is 1939. Right? I'm not Jewish, but this is messed up, right? Put any other person there. Put the black man there, right? Seriously, put the black man there and picture the same stuff that's going on right now. And in all honesty, we're all guilty. I am. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to take credit. I watch Family Guy. I watch the hell out of Family Guy. That's a funny program. And they take shots at everybody. And that's how I've always justified that program. They pick on everybody, right? They got a recurring character that touches kids. Like, this is a messed up program from Jump Street, and you just have to know that going in, and I keep telling myself that. But I started going through shows and just looking at the targeted stuff at Jews. And Family Guy in general is every stereotype you can get taken to the extreme. But they go after him really hard. And I start to wonder if it's just, Saturday Night Live did a sketch about this woman testifying. Now, I'm a funny guy, right? I really am. Like, I got a decent sense of humor. I could think of some really funny stuff, no lie, Saturday Night Live could do on this, right? And crucify this stupid woman who literally all she had to say was, yeah, we don't condone that. That's all she had to say. We don't condone that. Now, I'm pissed because this is one of 3 colleges that are flagrantly guilty of this. But colleges all over the United States are guilty of it. And this is the elite that we're going to put into office, right? Because every asshole that we elect comes out of these schools. This is a shocker, right? Is anybody else bummed out? I'm bummed out. But the skit they did on Saturday Night Live, that's not the direction they chose to go. They instead decided to pick on the woman who was asking the questions. They wanted to beat on the woman who had the audacity to think that, you know what? It's messed up that you can't answer this question. That's what Saturday Night Live decided to pick on. The person who, like me right now, can't believe that this person can't answer this question. Now, I'm going to take a slightly different view on this than probably everybody else, right? And here's my view. I don't think that this woman is I think she's a piece of crap. I really do. But I think half of this may be the fact that this woman's an anti-Semite and that it's kind of systematic within the college communities. I really think that this is going on. But on top of that, nobody in America anymore has got the guts to answer a question if there's a camera, right? God forbid a camera's filming you, you better not take a side, right? In anything that you do. Like, if I do this right now, there's a bunch of people that aren't going to watch this anymore. That's okay. That's okay, right? I don't care. Because there's right and there's wrong, right? So if you lose some views, this isn't going to get 5,000 views, but I don't care. This is the right damn thing, right? This should be talked about, people. This is so jacked up. We're doing the exact same crap that happened in 1939. This is no joke. It's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. The fact that we even have to talk about this is so messed up. But look up the skit and watch it. I refuse to put the crap on here, man. I really, if I could. Number one, I couldn't because I don't have the talent, but I sure as hell wouldn't put it on here if I could. And I'll tell you something. I don't have enough time to watch content creators the way I'd like to. I'd like to not miss anybody. Like, I miss Aaron's stuff. And I hate that. Because honestly, it's one of my favorite shows, right? Like, for real. Saturday Night Live and shows like, all had to kowtow and nobody's laughing anymore. You know what? No one's laughing anymore. No one is. Comedy's dead, right? You can't crack a joke anymore unless you're picking on a Jew, which I guess is completely different, right? Think of the stuff that we run out of comedy clubs. How about the fact that a person sitting in front of Congress with all those cameras on, she was scared crapless. So they asked the question, and her answer was, well, we would need to look on it at a case-by-case basis, right? And the situations going on around it, and if it would translate into action. I don't even know what that means. Does she mean somebody hitting a Jewish person, or does she mean that annihilating every one of them on the planet? Because that's what they're talking about. They're not saying, hey, if somebody on your campus says, I'm going to hit that Jew, right? That wouldn't be cool. But the question they're asking is the elimination of every one of them on the planet. Genocide is a pretty damn easy word to look up, right? How messed up is this? The sad thing is, you know what they're going to do? I promise you, this is what they're going to do. Right? And everybody's going to look in the opposite friggin' direction, and we're going to forget about this college stuff in 2 days. Right? And that's wrong. You know who did a show on this? Again, I can't watch all the content creators that I would like to. And I honestly thank God that I just happened to catch this dude's show, because I don't catch a lot of what he does. I'd like to, because I think he's really good at what he does. But it was an Andrew Gold program. And hey, you know what, Martha? Listen, I'm talking about anti-Semitism. And you know what you sound like, Martha? I'll be really honest. Why were the Palestinians kicked out of their homes and off their ancestral land in the 1940s? That was messed up and celebrated. Fair enough. Let's kill some babies. Huh? Let's gas 6,000, 6 million. What do you need? Because honestly, this is a completely legitimate point. It's not what we're talking about, but it's a completely legitimate point. And I'm not arguing it. It has nothing to do with anything. What I'm talking about is the fact that as a society, we're cool with anti-Semitism. That's what I'm talking about. That's the subject matter today. I don't think it was handled properly. I never thought it was handled properly. I don't think anybody thinks it was handled properly. And it's a shit show, isn't it? It is. But the problem becomes, I don't know if you ever heard of the term Overton Window. You guys hip to this concept? If not, you should look it up. Because the Overton Window, basically, think of the little screen you're looking at me on, right? Okay. This is what we will tolerate, right? This is it. This is what we will tolerate as a society. So a Jew joke every 5 or 10 episodes, we can get away with that on it, right? We're not going to go any further than that. But then, what happens when society starts pushing that window bigger and bigger, right? Because that's what happens when the people who decide what you look at and the people who literally make the news start going in a direction that is obviously hammering on one group of people. What happens is, and this is where it gets scary as crap, people. Take this from a convict, all right? Let me tell you what happens. Somebody, right? When these things start happening and a group of people, it gets acceptable for that group of people to get shit on. You know what happens? Other groups will take it a little bit farther and then a little bit farther. And the next thing you know, they're taking guys into the shower and they're cutting their throats, right? Why? Because for 5 or 6 weeks, people put up with the fact that guys were just beating on these people and there weren't enough of them around to protect themselves, right? But instead of somebody standing up and going, hey, you know what? What are you doing, man? No, it's not going to happen. And if I got to go get 4 homeboys to make sure this doesn't happen, it's not going to happen. Instead of somebody doing that, they just sort of watch, because you know what? It's not my race, right? I ain't getting in on that crap. Screw you. I'm not getting stabbed for somebody that's got different skin color than me. I spent 13 years in that life. Give it a try and let me know how you like it. I'm telling you right now, you ain't going to dig it. And I'm telling you right now, I don't care that this is Jews. Got nothing to do with me. For real. I don't care. It happens to be Jews. But I'd be having the same freaking conversation with you if systematically we were cracking jokes about the Palestinians, or we were cracking jokes about the blacks, or we were cracking jokes about Mexicans, or universities, right, were completely cool with people going on campus with signs that said the N-word on it, right? Would we be cool with that? We'd be burning this country to the ground. Right? Legitimately. We'd have a damn reason to. But, right? Where are your people from? Right? And get a good look. Because let's be really honest. If I get 4 or 5 people of different skin colors from 4 or 5 different groups of people, and I get them naked, I promise you, right? You ain't picking who's who. Done time in prison with people who have gone up to guys and gone, hey man, right? You Mexican? And had people go, no, bro, right? I'm Arab, and get offended as hell. Or the other way around. Or somebody calling a Jew an Arab or an Arab a Jew, right? Insanity. The fact that we're having this conversation in 2023 for any friggin' reason is insane. It's insane. It really is, man. Like this one, everyone bleeds red is damn right, man. Everyone does. And I'm not happy at all that anyone's dying anywhere. I'm not stoked about it. I'm not. But you punch me in the face, I'm hitting you back, right? And you kill someone in my family, I'm going to ensure you could never hurt me or anyone in my family again. Seriously, I'm going to remove you from the planet. Maybe you guys don't understand that concept. Maybe I'm a convict. Straight up, man. Maybe I'll just never shake that. But you want to see somebody terrified? Watch a Jew go to prison. For real. Same shit. They go in the door. What are you? You white? No. I ain't going to claim them. The whites, 6 out of 10 got a swastika on their neck, right? Or their arm. Or a 1488 on the back of their head. Yeah. Got to be a fun place to go. I'm just tired of it, man. Seriously. I spent 13 years watching that crap, man. You know, and putting up with it. With my best friend being black. Which I'll tell you what was a good time. Well, the best human being I've met, by the way. The best human being I've ever met. It's just messed up that we're still checking people out by the color of their skin or by what part of the world they're from, and being cool, we're ragging on that. 1488. So within the prison system, there are, in the white gangs in particular, there are 14 words that they cherish, and I'm not repeating them. I'm not ever repeating them, but it's got something to do with protecting society for their white sons and daughters or some such crap, right? That's how it finishes up. And the 88 is an alphanumeric thing that convicts do so that they can hide things within tattoos so that they don't get caught. Of course, none of these things work anymore because everyone in the world knows what they are now, right? I mean, they've known forever, but they would do 88, right? That's the eighth letter of the alphabet done twice, which would be HH for the, that jackbooted salute that those gentlemen in World War II did, right? Yeah, that symbol, that salute that they used to do to their Führer. It's the 88 is a Heil, yeah. But honest to God, I lived in it. It's a very, very different world when you're dead ass in the middle of it. And I'm telling you that we have the potential in this society to let our streets become the inside. We have the potential as a society to allow that window to get so large that we're cool with herding people up and putting them on train cars. And if you think that sounds crazy, 5 years ago, it would have sounded crazy if I told you the things that people were marching with signs saying, right? Eliminate them. Right? There are people marching that are literally calling for the finished work of Hitler. Right? Let's clean up what he didn't finish. That's what these people are yelling. No one's freaked out about this? That this is happening on our college campuses? And it's not 6 people. This is the cool thing. And I promise you that ignorance among them, if you went and asked them what part of the planet this is on, they couldn't tell you. But this is the cool thing. And I'll tell you what, man, let's hope the next cool thing isn't you. whatever you are, right? Well, and you know the next logical thing is, guess what? We're next. I swear you think I'm kidding. Because what that Overton window does, right, is what is it saying? It's saying they've done so well. Look how they have risen. What are these people? Seriously, they're complaints. Well, they control the banking. They control Hollywood. They control the... Start talking that way, right? Start talking that way. The Overton window gets moved this way. Okay, who else did a little better than the rest of us? Well, every white man on planet Earth did a little better than everybody else. We need to get rid of them next, right? You don't see where this goes? You don't see how this is a slippery slope? We didn't freaking fix it in 1945, which is why we're here now. And you know what? I'm sorry. I really am. I apologize. I apologize. You're right. All Jews do not equal Israel. I agree with you 100%. They don't at all. In fact, not even the vast majority of Jews live in Israel. They're all over the world, which makes it scarier when you start talking about eliminating them all. But you know what? You know what? There is so much truth to this. There is so much truth to this. I mean, holy hell, man. It's one of those situations, people, where I think as frightening as it is, it gets back to the message that we beat every single day here, right? Same message, different outcome, different procedure, but it's connection. It is. It's connection. Groups of people screaming at other groups of people. And they've been doing it since the 40s. And before that, right? And I promise you, if you put 15 of them in a lifeboat, right? Watch how fast everybody gets along. Put 25 of them of every race on the planet into a sinking boat, or better yet, put 25 or 35 kids together, right? And watch them play. But you know what's sad for real? What's sad for real is the videos of the kids on both sides who they're training to be the next generation of hate. Because we could break it with one generation. For real. You could break it with one generation. It's insane how much we're all similar. For real. It's insane how much we're all similar. Everybody hating each other. Wait, you both don't eat pork? Right? There is so much in common. And we can't seem to ever concentrate on what makes us all the same. Right? You know me, sadly, there might be some truth to it. But I'll tell you something, right? Not if I'm on that boat. Right? We just need a couple of more people on every side saying, not if I'm on that boat. Because nobody should be getting killed. Nobody should be. But I don't think the guy that throws the first punch can't be shocked when somebody punches him back. Now, we could sit and talk about punches being thrown in 1940, and we could talk about that till the end of time. Let's talk about who kicked your dad's ass. And let's keep it going for 30 generations. Let's see how long we can make this continue. You know what? I thank God that I am where I am, right? I'm just blessed to be in this part of the world. And I'm blessed to be sober in a season that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. You know what? This is a really good idea. This is a really good idea. I'm sorry, Gulliver, that sucks. Kelly says, my daughter is in college. We're Irish Catholic slaves at one point, and she is so very confused. Had a long talk with her about the issues. Parents, speak up and talk to your kids and stop the hate. Boy, there's a lot of truth to just stopping the hate. There's also a lot of truth to talking to your kids. Any religion that keeps me from my family or makes me nervous. Just have to be the best comment of the day. Anything that keeps me from bacon, period. It doesn't have to be a religion. Try to keep me from bacon. Even a person. Uh, any other cat owners on the lifeboat? I know that there are. We've got a lot of people here that have cats. I got an email from somebody that was not a cat lover, said some mean things about cats, and they were arguing why dogs are so much better than cats. I love cats. I also love dogs. I have no problem with them. I just happen to prefer cats. I prefer the personality. But the arguments he made for why cats suck, Squirrel beat it on everyone. He's like, dogs fetch stuff, cats don't. My cat fetches stuff, right? No problem. You throw a little ball, cat brings it back. She does it. It's on film. It's been seen. He says, you call a cat, they never come to you. If I call this cat, she comes to me wherever I am. This cat follows me wherever I go. But if you have a cable or a wire, right? So these are wireless, life is good, right? If I showed you the cat right now, I don't want to, yeah, you know what? You can probably see it anyway, but I'm going to show you the kitty. See, can you see that cat's back right there? Can you see that wire? Yeah, that's a wire. So apparently before my cat got in the basket, she grabbed some cord or cable that I need, which she's probably chewed in half because if it's small enough to get in that basket, I'm in bad shape. Yes, you're not cute. She just stuck her paw all the way out so that it's almost touching me and hanging off of the edge. But the the wire thing, I'm gonna have to remove it because I don't want it to get wrapped around her little neck. But I am going to be getting another feline. I have made a decision. It is official that I am getting another kitty. So we're going to be having to have we're going to have a discussion on what this cat can be named, because it's important that we keep that tradition going. The first cat was named by the boat and by divine intervention. If you've never heard this, somebody sent me an email yesterday that said, your cat is beautiful, what's the cat's name? So I'm guessing they caught a short part of one of the videos or never saw it to the end, or the squirrel thing confused the heck out of them. But the cat's name is Squirrel, and if you haven't heard this story, when I decided I was going to get the cat, right, I called it the cabin cat, and I suggested that the people on the boat would allow, would help me name the cat since it was going to be here at all times. So they, yes, I went to a rescue. I would never ever buy an animal. Not on God's green earth would I ever buy an animal. I am a rescue. I'm an advocate. I'm with you 100%, and everybody should be. There are way too many animals that need a home for people to be cranking them out in the first place, which is what causes most of the problems. Big shout out to someone on the boat who does something about this each and every day. Where are you? Where are you? I know you're here. There she is. Snotface. Snotface saves animals that are bred by people who are idiots. So, yeah, see, bunny, muskrat, consort, chipmunk. Yeah, you get it. So everybody put up the names they came up with, and we narrowed it down. And because I can't seem to stick on a subject for very long, be it the too many shots to the head, you know what I mean? The whole cerebral infarction thing. Or if it's just the fact that I'm getting old and I got ADHD, I don't know. But I can't seem to stay on a subject. So the crew decided that Squirrel would be a funny name. And I went up to the shelter and I walked in and I picked out a cat. And I said, I'd like the cat in cage 3. And the woman just looked at me like I was the biggest idiot in the world, because looking back on it, every room did have cages in it, right? So the whole cage 3 thing probably sounded kind of stupid, but I was like, I would like the cat in cage 3. And she's like, there's 400 cages here. Could you take the name tag off of the cage? So I went running back in because I was afraid of losing her, right? So I ran back in to get the name, and I pulled the name tag off, and I swear to you, I even took pictures of it. The name on the tag was Squirrel. So when I went to get the cat, you know how when you adopt from a rescue, they've already named the cat. They all, they have names for all of them, and they always tell you when you get your, the little certificate, you changed the name. I was like, no, this is the name. And she's like, you're staying with Squirrel? I was like, yeah, I'm sticking with Squirrel. Yes, Snotface has done a does amazing work. Got big love for Snotface. We've actually had a lot of people on the boat that do this. There's a lot of people that that rescue animals. It's just that Snot is really into it. Oh, Kelly, I love that. I love that. That's the coolest idea ever. I want to start a rescue for senior cats myself, and my husband and I retired recently, still in our young 50s, and want to do something with cats. Kelly, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard. Honestly, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard. What would be cooler? So I go to a place here in town. I've talked about it on the boat before. And I like to give them a plug when I can remember the name. JJ's, yeah, I think it's called JJ's Cat Cafe, something like that. I think it's JJ's. If not, you know what, I'll fix it on the next one. But it's a cat cafe, and it's in Tucson. And the last time I went, there was 36 cats there, and they're all ready for adoption. And so you go in, and it's like, I don't remember what I paid, $13 or something like that. And to get in there, and for that you also get a bunch of treats that you can give the cats. You don't have to buy that, but I wanted to give the cats treats, and then I bought extra treats because there's a bunch of cats. But they have 3 floors, and the cats are just all over you, and they've got it by age. So the first floor is all senior kitties, which is just awesome because their personalities are just, you know what I mean? That's what makes it. I don't know. I really dig cats as they get older. I know kittens are cool to look at, but they're not a ton of fun to raise. Squirrel is just a terror. I mean, this cat literally was a holy terror. There's a cat cafe in Barrie. You got to be kidding. That is the coolest. El Jefe, thank you, Starfish21. It's called the El Jefe, thank you. The El Jefe Cat Cafe. Well played. Well played. I know I wasn't anywhere close to that, was I? I don't even remember what I guessed, but I know it wasn't. I said JJ. Jefe, JJ? I can see where I messed that up. Tommy Bird already named the new cat. All right, hit me with it. What did Tommy come up with? I think, you know who did the last one? If I'm not mistaken, it was Chi-Chi, I think, came up with the name. If not, it was Lady Fiona, who, by the way, people, is doing better. Her fever has broken. She is absolutely doing better, which is, I mean, about as cool as it gets. You know, her fever was really high and for a lot of days, and it got frightening. Chipmunk's not a bad name. I think I got to get, and that could go for either gender. I think I'm going to get a male cat because I don't want to, risk it with the old lady. Squirrel would kill me if I got a female cat. I am married to this cat, by the way. This is the wife. Like, I'm not getting another. I said chipmunk first, but then I thought maybe Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle is a strong name for a cat. It really is. I kind of dig the Bullwinkle thing. Yeah, that's for the male. Yeah. You know what? Bayou Babe. Do you know how many people said that last time too? This is something that a lot of people said, right? A lot of people said this. And I think I've always gotten the cat before I named it, except for Squirrel. But boy, it's worked out really well. Seal is a great name to go with the lifeboat. Seal is not a bad call either. Never say never, Tommy. Oh man, I should have that tattoo. Stewie. I'm telling you, people, I'm done with Family Guy. I swear to you, I'm putting it on the same list that I'm putting on energy drinks. You know what? It occurs to me that they're mean to everybody, right? That's their shtick. And I was like, I'm cool with that because they pick on everybody. But you know what? Why would I want to watch somebody that just picks on everybody? Maybe I just need to grow up. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just an 80s kid who's still acting like he's 22 when he's in his 50s, but that could be. El Jefe, because the house belongs to the kitty. That is awesome. And that makes perfect sense. That is absolutely perfect sense. And make no mistake, that place does belong to the cat. It's the coolest place I've ever seen. I'm not kidding you. I even said to the person I was with, I was like, you know what? Screw Disneyland. This is the happiest place on earth. Everywhere you go, a cat just comes up and chills. Like, it gets on your lap. The most symmetrical pussycat on planet Earth. I'm not kidding you. The most symmetrical cat on planet Earth came up and parked herself right on my chest and just put her paws there. And if she had been a male, she would be here. But being a female, Squirrel would have killed this cat. She would not have been happy. And this cat was just, I mean, honestly, everything on one side of this cat was absolutely perfect on the other. I marveled at it. I looked at this cat for probably a half an hour, and it had such a beautiful personality, but it was a little girl. And there's no chance Squirrel's going to put up with a girl. Nacho is my cat's name. All right. So it's Nacho Cat. I adopted him from a rescuer and kept that name. The rescuer said the vet wrote down Nacho instead of Macho, which it should have been because he's rambunctious. Nice. Nice. Okay, dog person here, girl cats can't live together. No, this girl cat could not live with another girl cat. If you got them at the same time, they will put up with it. Female cats bond with men, for real. And if you get them when they're kittens, they will bond very seriously. Like, Squirrel doesn't like a woman coming over. I'm not even being funny. Like, Squirrel doesn't like other ladies. She likes guys, all of them, but she does not like women. And I promise you, a female cat, she would lose her mind. You know what? It's actually not a bad idea. Here's the one problem with that, though, and this is going to make all of you really upset. But the only thing I don't get along with Q on, Q does not like cats, man. He doesn't like cats. Like, he really dislikes them, which is a bummer. We've argued about it at length. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, how do you not like cats? Like, it doesn't even make sense to me. But he doesn't like them. Like, not the people who say, like he said, seriously, he thinks cats don't like him and he gets scratched a lot. So he's like, I don't even like being near him. Like, he doesn't want to be around cats, which is a bummer because if I get him out, he's going to be around cats. If he comes anywhere near me, there's always going to be a cat. You know what, Rolling Stone? Maybe you're right. Maybe that would be even better. Maybe naming my cat Q would be even better. Calling him and telling him, yeah, I got you. My tortie ate her female babies every time, left the males alone. See that? I'm telling you, man. Well, and they call it tortitude, right? So I don't know whether or not you guys are hip to this, but torties are all girls. There are no male torties. He can learn to love. You know what? I'm telling you, if he gets out, I think he's going to love everything on earth. I really do. And you know what, people? I really believe that I'm going to get him out. I don't think it's going to be in the next couple of years, but I do think I'm going to get him out. It's taken shape, so to speak. But it is a really, really, really hellacious process. Ask him, what's your cat's name? Yeah. And the good thing is this, right? So this is if you've ever watched any of the old shows of the Lifeboat, like the really old ones where I used to film sideways from the side of so it's a roll top desk, and they used to have these things that you could write on, right? It's like a little piece of wood that would slide out of the roll top desk and you could write on it. Well, that's what Squirrel sits on. That little thing slides out and the basket sits on it. So I was thinking if I could get the other one to chill, which wouldn't happen for a while if I get a kitten. But I would get the male right there and I would just be like, I would literally feel like a king. You know what I'm saying? I would literally, I would feel like a king. With a kitty on both sides, I would be so happy. You know what? I love this. I think, and you guys can tell me that I'm crazy, but I think a lot of it, I think there really is something to the relationships. Like, I have never had a cat that died young. I've just never had one. Every cat I have ever had lived really, really long lives. The first cat that I ever had got to Earth before I did and died when I was 18. So that cat lived a really long life. And then I had a cat named Alice that lived, I don't know, 14, 15 years, and then was adopted to somebody because I went to prison. And I don't know how much longer she lived after that. Yes, Kelly, unfortunately, we're not to that part of this procedure, but I promise you, when the time comes, it will come. This is a part of this process. The time will come where I'm going to ask every one of you that feels like the boat has done anything for you to write a letter. right? Like that time is coming, but it's not yet. But boy, oh boy, we're gonna. I'm telling you, I want that crap delivered in a truck. You know what I'm saying? I don't want emails. I want paper, and I want it delivered in a truck. Oh, I love this. My tabby cat Buster lived to 20. My current tabby cat is 15. I love it. And you got at least 10 more with this one, Lumen. The cool thing about pussycats is they are living longer and longer and longer lives. Their life expectancy, I think, is growing a lot faster than ours. Shut up. I talked to my brother yesterday on the phone and asked him his address so I could write to him. I was shocked to see that all of the mail goes to Florida for processing and scanning. They aren't allowed to get physical mail anymore. You know what? I don't want to do this on blast, but did you tell him to write me a letter? Because I wrote your brother a letter. And he never wrote me back. Chili Mancer. I don't understand the concept of what you're saying exactly. So the mail goes to Florida and then they put it onto like a digital medium is what you're saying? Like they don't get physical mail that they can touch. You know why that is? Suboxone. I promise you. And it's going to be the way for everything in the future. That is the best news I've heard in a while. Oh, wait, it's the one above it. 22 years for a tortie? I want my tortie to live 22 years. If my tortie lives 22 years, she'll probably outlive me, which would just be fantastic. Because I don't want to go through that ever again if I could avoid it. In fact, if I could just deal with the big cat thing, do you know that female bobcats apparently can live like 30 years, 35 years? I've thought about it. I really have. They're very, very feline-like. Unfortunately, they're also very, very big. And that's kind of a problem. In that they can eat other things. But do you guys ever, I don't know if you've ever, I don't want to send you off on a deep dive because you can go crazy on this, but there are big cat YouTube channels of people that have, the huge, bobcats or what's the other one? Siberian lynx, the people that have big cats. And one of them had a big cat and a little cat. And the two of them, it was just the coolest thing I've ever seen. I was like, you got to be kidding. See, VT Kitten gets it. I know when I tell people this, I know squirrel will not love a kitten. But I am pretty good at introducing kitties into grown cats' environments. For the majority of my non-criminal part of my life. Like before my life really jumped the rails and I became a criminal, prior to that part of my life, I always had a crap load of cats, like a bunch. And like through my first marriage, I always had at least 4. And you were always having to introduce, a new cat in. And you had an ocelot. Now, somebody help me with this. I can picture the face and the head of an ocelot, like without any problem. But I don't have any idea how big they are. Like I can see it in my mind, what I think an ocelot looks like. And I'm sorry, but Kid Gulliver, what causes oral cancer in cats? Is there something you can do to prevent that? Because if 2 of you lost cats to that, is it food? What is it? What should I be doing differently? I want Squirrel to live forever. Of our 15 cats, all right, you win. Anybody beaten 15 cats? Wait a second. Tammy C has a Maine Coon cat. Oh, tell me you're not jealous. Oh, are they great? What time period did I live in Vermont? Time period. I guess you would call it the greed of the 80s time period. I lived in Vermont for a long time. I lived there for about 18 years. And they were the first 18 years. And that would have been from early 70s up until about 1989 and 1990. Somewhere around there I moved. But I go back. I have a lot of friends in that part of the world, and I still go back. It's a it will always have a very special part in my in my heart. There's a place for it. I want a skunk. You know something? How often do you think that phrase gets put into a chat? Eh? Bet you that one doesn't come up too often. He's a good boy, but not great with other kitties. You know what? Maine Coons are just the coolest cats to look at. Yeah, 15 cats. That's epic. That's a big household right there. It really is. Nacho was adopted to give my other cat Maisie a playmate. See, you get it. That's my big fear is that I did not want um, I didn't want Squirrel to go through life without ever playing with another cat. Like that seems messed up to me, right? I would, I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid, but I feel like there should at least be one more. Uh, Skunk wasn't on my bingo card. Oh, you know what? Right before we went live, one of you put something up that had me laughing. You put it in the chat right before we went live, and I mean, I was laughing out loud. I really was. It was so funny. Martha, you have 13 and had 60. 13's a lot of kitties. That would be lovely. It really would. Wait a second. Skunks are cute. Again, not something you hear in chats super often, I'm guessing. But just like possums, even in captivity, they only live a couple of years. I don't know how long you think that we have had command of language. But I don't care how far back that goes, there's an excellent chance that that sentence has never been put together before in the history of man. Think about that, Snot. That series of words, what are the odds that you could, without saying something really bizarre, what are the odds you come up with a sentence that probably no one else has ever said? Skunks are cute, but just like possums, even in captivity, they only live a couple of years. You may be the first person to ever utter that. Actually, I could be wrong. There may be a lot of people love possums. Possums to me are almost on par with spiders. Like you want to see me go from being a dude that sounds like this to like real quick, like that high shrilly jump up on a chair kind of thing. Possums will do that to me as well. I spent some time in Texas when I was a kid. That was that was it, Rolling Stone. I believe that's what it is. 13 is a cat cafe, says Barbie World. And Melissa Webster also has a Maine Coon. You know what? I am so jealous of all of the Maine Coon cats in this chat that I almost want to leave it. I've wanted a Maine Coon cat my entire life. I really have. From the very first time I saw one, I was like, I got to have one of these. Ocelots are anywhere from 15 to 40 pounds. They love water. He was 25 pounds. Oh, I would love to have a cat that liked water. Like, Squirrel is fascinated by the pool. Fascinated by it. And she wasn't in the beginning, but now, like, she goes outside and that pool, like, she looks at it like it's the world's biggest water dish. And there's no, I have the saltwater pool, so it doesn't smell. You don't get that super, like, chemical smell off of it. And so she's always, like, got her snout this close to it. Really, really funny. See, me, this is the problem with Captain Tommy. Right? There's a decent chance I could send you off on some on a Schoolhouse Rock. That's a great deep dive though. I mean, honestly, you want to talk about a great deep dive? Schoolhouse Rock? Spend a Saturday and just watch all the stuff that you used to watch as a kid on Schoolhouse Rock. You will thank me later. The Boston Tea Party one, yeah, I remember that one. Wow. I had a cat that was so close to being I mean, he looked like a Maine Coon, and people always asked me if he was because he was just so damn big. But he wasn't. He was just a huge gray cat. But not only do I want a Maine Coon, but I want a Maine Coon that's a chunk. I mean, it doesn't have to be a chunk. I don't ever want, like, I don't want an unhealthy cat, you know? That's the last thing in the world I would ever want would be an unhealthy pussy cat. But lolly, lolly, don't do it. Don't do the lolly thing. The adverb thing is the worst. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Hey, just for the chili heads in the audience, check this out. We'll do this one just for laughs because this is always fun, especially when it's this early in the morning, because chances are Johnny Scoville is not up yet. So, I mean, he might be, but probably not. So let's do this one. Hey, Johnny, your little brother. I just wanted to call and say, lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Lolly, lolly, lolly. He will send me a meme, probably of just one finger, whatever one, and I probably won't get it for an hour or 2 hours because it takes a while for that to really sink in that I've actually like wormed into his brain with it. But he'll be unhappy about it later, I promise you. Yeah, I'm very, very excited about going on Reese's show. Johnny's doing fantastic. He's over. If you want to see him, go over and check him out. He's on Chase the Heat. He's got a channel called Chase the Heat that is, I don't know, 10 times bigger than this one. Like, he's got a really big channel. My Jaeger is a jerk. He will slap the plate of his wet food to the floor if he doesn't like the food. You have a cat with an attitude problem, and you have a Maine Coon cat with an attitude problem. But you know what? That's something I always wondered about. See, I always just assumed that they would kind of be the alpha cat. Like every Maine Coon cat probably just has a little bit of a, I am the coolest of all house cats kind of an attitude. Maybe I'm crazy because I've never been around one. I mean, not for any length of time. I walked into a place to get my car fixed. I used to drive a Saab. Great car. It was such a fun car. But yeah, I drove. Yeah, send me a pic. If you've got Maine Coon cats, send me a picture. I would love to see pictures of Maine Coon cats. And if one of you happens to, no, I can't say that. If I end up with like, I get out of control. That's the problem with the cat thing. You know what I mean? That's the problem with the cat thing. It starts out, I'm always good with a cat, but then I need to get a cat for the cat, and that's when it gets scared. Thank you. You know what? A lot of people, I can't begin to tell you the number of people that have reached out to me to tell me that they're excited about this show. And you know what? I'm excited about it. I really am. I've been interviewed by a ton of people. Like, I've gone on to other people's shows, and they ask, and it's more of a conversation, I guess, than an interview usually, isn't it? But I've talked to a lot of people on shows, and women have a very different style of communicating than guys, right? And they tend to enjoy it more. Yeah, I was going to say they were better at it, but I don't know that that's necessarily always the truth. But I think that they enjoy it more. I think that guys are not usually into communication as much. So sometimes when you interview with or do a show with a woman, I don't know. It seems like it's easier sometimes with two guys, especially like Aaron and I get along great, right? Just from the very first time we talked, we just sort of gelled. But very often, just because of testosterone and the fact that we're morons. You got two guys who create content, and you're like comparing the size of your subscribers list, and that can cause all kinds of problems, and you just don't seem to get that when you're dealing with a member of the opposite sex. And from what I have watched, and I'm going to be honest, I have not watched a ton of Reese, but what I have watched of her, she just seems kind of happy and bubbly, and I like happy people. There aren't enough of them on planet Earth. Boy, is that true, Martha. Simons. See what I did there? Thought I forgot. Zelda says, Squirrel has a cat friend. It's you. Zelda, I like that. And it's true. You know what? She really, and people are forever telling me that this cat obviously thinks I'm a big hairless pussycat because she certainly does not treat me. She definitely treats me more like I'm one of her, one of the clan. Squirrel's great to have around. And she's been sleeping for a really long time, so I'm probably going to wake her up anyway, which is cool because I can use the TREAT thing. Maybe I'll let her sleep a little bit longer. I'll still get a chance to show you the cat in the basket though. All right, everybody, I appreciate you tuning in. I've been trying to do 3 shows a day during the month of December. And we've been trying to do that because this is a tough month, right? And everybody says it, and everybody's talking about it. And prior to December, people who have been on the boat from the previous year had asked and suggested. So we just decided that we were going to do the 3 a day throughout December, and we're going to keep rolling with that. Today, I may do 2 because of and I may do 3. I may do 3 and still do the Reese thing. But to be sure, catch the Reese thing. And you know what? When you get over there, if by some chance you are one of the 6 people that is on my channel that has not already subscribed to Reese, when you get over there, hit the subscribe button. You know what I mean? It's I think we support people pulling in the same direction and really good things happen. Sally, thank you so much. And you know what? Now I'm going to have to stick around for at least a minute or 2 because Sally probably really wanted to write something but didn't, because anytime someone does that, I assume that they wanted to write something but they accidentally didn't. So Sally, write out what you wanted to write out and I'm going to pop it up there so that, because I want to know what you had to say, because you thought you were going to type something and then it accidentally went up. That's usually how it happens anyway. If that's not the case, that's cool, but I'm just checking. Bella has a master plan and 8 might be part of her end game. Oh boy. See, that's how it starts, Melissa. That's how it starts. And pretty soon, you've got 13. I'm actually jealous as hell of 13. That's a cat cafe. I would love that. And if I had 13 cats, right? If I did, my walls would have the little things that you could run on. Like I would do the whole house. I really would. I would deck that baby out. My problem is that my addictive personality can so easily slide right into pussycats, right? Like I can absolutely just become a cat collector like that. I could do that. And I also don't really, honestly, it is a bit of a bummer taken away from, I know that in the very beginning, Squirrel's going to hate me for getting her a friend. I know she's going to hate me for it, and that's going to be a bummer too. I agree with you. A litter robot. If you knew how long I've been saying I'm getting ready to buy a litter robot, the number of people I've said to, I'm getting ready to buy a litter robot, it's absolutely incredible. So I'll be doing the relatable Reese thing at 2:00 Central. So I think that's 12 o'clock on the West Coast, the left coast. Yeah. Alrighty, people. Sorry about the rant. We'll see you guys. Hopefully we'll see you over on Reese's. If not, we will see you later on today. Captain Tommy Scoville and this. Oh, wow. Somebody make a short out of that. This is a cat in a basket. Oh, that was perfect, you little kitty. You want a treat? Come on, let's go. Alrighty, everyone. Let's go. Treat. That was perfect, Squirrel Nut. You're so cute.